Welcome back from Labor Day weekend. Now all you parents can be happy to be sending your kids back to school to grow their brains even more. I'm Alexis Martino.
And I'm Mark Arturi, and I can't guarantee we're going to grow your brain, but welcome to STV News.
Your topical solution to alleviate that burning desire for strange but true news.
And it is strange. In today's episode, we will discuss beer, divorce cases gone wrong, confusing family reunions, stupid robberies, and criminal flatulence.
This is STV News.
The lower house of Russia's parliament approved legislation in February to classify beer for the very first time as an alcoholic beverage. Traditionally, because of the dominance of the vodka industry, beer has been regarded as closer to a soft drink. Wow, Russia, you really are alcoholics, aren't you?
I think this guy's had a few beers himself. In Brooklyn, New York, Judge Bernard Graham recently awarded custody of an estranged couple's teenage boy to the father, even though the father was at the time homeless and living night to night in shelters and storefronts. The mother, Jeanette Taylor, who earns $90,000 a year as a courthouse employee, was even denied visitation rights. Judge Graham insisted the arrangement was in the boy's best interest, but Graham was later transferred to non-divorce cases and probably soon will be kicked up to the Supreme Court.
In January, Czech television reported on a recent joyous but confusing family reunion featuring a woman, Ilona Tomikova, who had become a man, Dominik Seja, and who finally found love in the person of Andrea Kajarova, who was, before her own sex change, a bodybuilder named Tomas Kazar. Dominik, motivated to reconnect with his original family, learned that his son he had given birth to, Radim, was himself undergoing a sex change to become Vicky. Did you follow that? I hope so.
Another negative cash flow robbery occurred in February in Kansas City, Missouri, as an unidentified man tried to distract the clerk at a gun store by laying $40 on the counter to buy a box of bullets, then pulling a gun and demanding all the store's money. The clerk thwarted the robbery by pulling his own gun, not surprisingly since it was a gun store, and scaring the robber off while the $40 remained on the counter, proving once again, bullets and brains, not mutually exclusive.
The government of Malawi's proposed environmental control legislation, introduced in January, was thought by some advocates to be broad enough to criminalize flatulence. The Justice Minister said the section about fouling the air should cover extreme flatus, but the country's solicitors general insisted that only commercial air pollution was punishable. As I used to say when I was a kid and I passed some gas, "Papa, I flated." True story.
Speaking of unchecked flatulence, unfortunately our resident drag queen Darla Day had a bit too much to drink and needs a sick day. But don't worry, she'll be back next week for some more drag-tacular antics to keep you entertained.
We are also down our resident fashionista Danielle Minzenberger due to an ill-induced session of biking in the rain. So it looks like we're going to jump straight to Tuesday's top trending Twitter topics.
If I could get away with it, Zoe 101, Academy Awards, Oscars would be on that island. Talk about awkward. Eddie Murphy, David Gerard, the Parkers. Think about it.
Well, I'm thinking about it, but I'm not sure what to think. Well, that's all for today's ridiculous news with our strange stories and our gallimaufry of Twitter topics.
Oh, you made that word up.
Nope.
Come on now. Remember, people, don't forget to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Until next week, I'm Mark Arturi.
And I'm Alexis Martino. Stay sassy, people.
Filming from the Monsters of the Midway Hood, this is Barely Educated with your weekly host, Rolando Eloso Perez. Good day, Bear fans, and welcome to the first edition of Barely Educated, a sports show dedicated to diehard Bear fans. I'm your host, Rolando Eloso Perez. It's been a few months since we last seen the Bears play, and after this past January's letdown against the hated rivals, the Packers, obvious questions came out in the offseason, including Jay Cutler's toughness. Now look, I know this about Jay Cutler. He had an MCL tear, which is very deep in the knee. It's a very serious injury that can cause flawed body mechanics, which made me think that yes, he made the right decision. If you can't perform at 100%, then you shouldn't let your team down, and he did the right thing by taking a step back. Flash forward, present day. Cutler is all healed up and his foot mechanics have improved. He has also lost some weight to begin the new season as well. For more, we send it to our anonymous Bear fan from Texas. Come on, woman, set up that neck bone from last week. Put it for 25 minutes. Thank you. Oh, well, okay. The Bears have also made some adjustments at offensive line and acquired two ex-Cowboys from Dallas. Ground and pound running back Marion Barber has looked like a real monster running through the tackles. I wish we could say the same for Roy Williams at wide receiver. Maybe he just needs some time to develop chemistry with Mr. J. Only time will tell. And just recently acquired Brandon Merriweather from the Patriots at safety should also help the defense tighten up. There's plenty to look forward to this season. Thank you, and once again, back to you, El Oso. Some NFL analysts have the Bears winning no more than 8 games this year, which I must confess, I picked the Bears to go 7-9 last year. Thankfully, I was proven wrong. This year, I predict them to go 10-6, simply because they have a very tough schedule in the beginning. I do also see them making it to the playoffs and finally winning a Super Bowl. Because there is nothing more dangerous than a hungry bear waking up from hibernation. Stay tuned next week as I will teach Football 101 for those who are barely educated.
Papa, I flated. True story.